Hello, sir.
Good day.
How's it going?
Good you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good.
That's not an answer. It's not an answer.
Yes,
Hey,
good.
how's it going?
Mm-hmm. It's going.
Is it now?
It's going.
Excellent.
It's weird just talking side by side instead of face to face, like we normally go face to face. But there's not really room for us to turn.
You look really out of sorts with this arrangement.
Well, I'm a little bit. I feel like, well, I can just look at the screen, I suppose. Everything's a little bit different. I can see you that way. So, anything new and exciting?
Um, nope. Nope. Can't say there is.
I worked on an ethics application today. That's super boring.
Yeah. I worked on a SOW,
What's a sow?
statement of work,
Hmm.
contract,
Ah,
corresponding estimation tool sheet to go along with it.
this kind of stuff, this administrative stuff, like even basic filling in timesheets, it's so hard for me. Actually, that was one of the signs of like gifted, intelligent, highly intelligent people. They can't do basic tasks. And that is definitely me.
Oh, I must be like super smart then,
I can
because
do
I don't do anything right.
I can do really hard things very easily. But those basic things, like it takes me hours just to book a flight, and it could be one flight. There's only one flight at one time on the day I need to go, and it'll still take me an hour to book it.
Because you need to make sure that there's not 30 other options. But then you get distracted by the other options and you're like, well, what if I went on this? What if this guy on the pedal bike as an Uber was going to take me there? I better check and see. Will it have the right route?
I know.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, I'll do it later because then I get overwhelmed. And then it's like the day before the flight. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't booked my flight yet.
My favorite trick that you've been doing a lot more lately is you push through the flight and then do nothing else. You've got no accommodations or mode of transportation when you get there.
Yeah,
It's really fantastic.
that happens a lot.
Sure
Actually,
does.
I need to book something, a hotel for like 2 days from now.
Hawking.
I have nothing for my trip. I'm going to Dallas next week and then White Settlement, I guess, and then DC. I've got nothing. I got nothing. I got my flights though.
It's half the battle.
Hey, but my trip to Seattle in February, flights booked and hotels booked.
So Seattle's going to be attacked or something.
I've
There's no way that goes through
I have
without a
no
problem.
idea why and how that happened, but nothing for the next 3 trips that are coming up in the next few days. Anyway, there was something that I was going to talk about, and now I've forgotten. See, my brain is just, it doesn't have a very big workspace. Things fall out of it really easily, but I've just remembered it. So, should I ask you the question?
Yeah, that's why we're here. Why would you think that I'm just going to sit here and listen to you freeform like all the thoughts in your head?
Well, don't you enjoy that?
Hmm. See, it works for that too.
I wish we had video so people could see your face. Okay. Ah, no, I forgot it again. It's something to do. What? What?
It's like the universe is stabbing my head.
Then my brain is freezing. Okay, so what do you think is the most important things that parents need to do to ensure a positive, best outcome future for their kids?
Um, do you mean them as people or them like in their lot in life or
Well, what do you think? There is only one right answer to this.
oh, so no pressure. You do realize that every time we've done this, I've never gotten it right.
But that's like, it's open to discussion.
Apparently not.
Well, but it's interesting to see what you have to say.
Okay, so what can parents do to set their kids up for success? Is that essentially it?
Essentially, long term.
Um,
I didn't say success, but yeah.
Well, then
Well, what do you think would be successful? What would be success for kids?
leaving my house.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Um,
Maybe we define that, yeah.
I don't know that there is one answer though, because it depends on what aspect of your life you're trying to make them successful in. Like, I would say, um,
Well, if there's only one thing you could be successful in and you know, okay, hey, I had a good life. This was a good outcome for me. What would that thing be?
I would have gotten the ability to stop time. Like, if I had had my superpower like I wanted, that would have been a good life.
Yeah. Teleportation in time, like from Hero off of Heroes.
Yeah.
He had the ultimate power.
Okay, so if I was to look back at my life and
But what
think,
would you actually do if you could stop time?
leave, like that part where you were forgetting the thought you had 5 seconds ago, I would have literally stopped time and left and then come back in like an hour when I was ready to deal with it. 100%. I
Oh,
would stop time.
you would never be with me then,
I
ever,
would, but I would.
ever.
But that's the thing. For you, it's a positive because I come back fully engaged and rested and like, yeah, let's go with this. Right? But the unfortunate part is I don't know what the side effects would be because I would literally be stopping time 30 times a day.
I know.
So I don't know what that does to the universe. Something to explore, I suppose.
So you'd stop time just so you could get out of my
No, but stopping time would be
forgetfulness.
rad. Being able to step outside of the flow of time.
Yeah, but what would you do? Like I would
When I was a kid, it was like break into people's houses.
Yeah, like I would love the idea of stopping and then going and like having a bath or well, I don't even know. I'm not
Yeah, like
my
if
baths
I
are like 5 minutes, but going and doing something fun. But I know I wouldn't. I would just stop at time so I could just work more
oh,
and
that
work and
is
work and
the
work.
absolute opposite of what I would use my superpower for. It would be purely for doing nothing or fun things.
Go for a 2 day cycling
Yeah.
trip.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd ski more.
No, you'd have the hill to yourself.
But then there'd be nobody to run it.
So take the side by side. You can still interact with things,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Not like
That's
everything
true.
freezes and you can't move it. It's like Quicksilver. He moves so fast he gets to move stuff. This is not the podcast I think people want us to tune in
Okay.
for.
Okay. Something to think about. Anyways, yeah. So what would you say success would be for you can think of your own life or for your own kids? Like what do you think parents want, generally speaking?
Generally speaking, parents will be like, I just want my kids to be happy,
Yeah.
right? That's the answer.
Yeah.
The problem with that is
It's a
everybody
bad
has a different,
answer
yeah, everybody has a different definition of happy. I think,
because that's impossible to always be happy all the time.
yeah, nor,
But generally, yes. Like let's say that is the answer because that's generally what all parents want.
yes, I do want my kids to be happy, but more importantly, I want my kids to be content and good people. That's to me where, like, I would like them to live an existence where they don't have anxiety about missed opportunities or what they should have done or how they will, like, that's to me more important.
Okay, high five, Andrew.
Yeah,
You got the right answer in terms of, yeah, contentment and being good people.
nailed it. So
So, okay, so that's our outcome. So, what is the one thing parents need to do so kids can be in contentment? Oh, that should be a whole other episode because I have so much to say on happiness versus contentment. Regardless, that's the outcome we're going for.
I'm just content I got the answer right.
Perfect. So, now what do you do to ensure that for your children?
Um, Me personally, like the approach I try and take, I suppose, is I don't want the kids to be focused on outcomes so much. Like, that's not true. I think the contentment comes from not feeling the anxiety about what could have been,
Mhm.
right? So to get to that point, it's about supporting what it is they want to do, but making sure that they commit to doing it. Because to me, there's a saying, there's tons of different variations on the saying, but essentially, the weight of disappointment is worse than, you know, well, that fell apart really quick. I can't remember what it was. But essentially, it's better to have tried something and decided to move away from it than to have not tried and then wonder,
Yeah.
right? And that to me is the key part is that if the kids get to a point where they've pursued things along the way that sometimes maybe it's a lifetime thing, maybe it's not, but it gave them what they needed and they moved on, that to me is a key component. But to do that, I can't put my expectations on them. right? I can guide them. I can give them instruction. I could help them to try and consider other opportunities, but it's really about being comfortable making a decision that in the moment feels like the right one and then not regretting it because that serves nothing.
That's one thing I've taught Willow from a young age, from like, yeah, very young. It's just that you'll always regret not going, not doing something.
Yeah.
You might go or do it and hate it, but then at least you'll know.
Yep.
It's not going and not experiencing it, that's where regret lays.
You can always experience something and realize it's not for you. You can't avoid it and then wonder if it would have been for you, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the difference. And the other part is just making sure that they understand the level of effort that's required to be content. There's nothing worse than the anxiety that comes with feeling like you didn't do what you should have done or didn't do enough of what you should have done. That occupies a ton of time. So that to me is two of the critical components is just make sure that they're supported and that they understand that effort equals contentment.
Okay. So you those are profound, good insights. It's not the right answer,
Of course not,
but
because there's
it's
only one answer.
there's
And
only one answer. But those are very good things to be doing,
what's the
certainly.
one answer?
Do you have any other guesses?
No, because they'll be wrong.
But it might be good information that's still part of the journey.
I drink in the garage so that they don't see my rage. No, I'm kidding. I don't.
I know you don't. But I mean, that's why I wanted to open it up to discussion because that would be part of the
Mhm.
journey, right? And there is a bit of growth mindset there in focusing on the
Oh,
journey
it's teach them the
versus
growth
the
mindset. It's
outcome.
teach them growth
No,
mindset.
it's not the
Oh,
answer.
damn.
It's not the
Okay.
answer. But you had mentioned not focusing on outcomes, and that is part of like it really is about the journey.
Yeah.
So we try to influence outcomes, certainly, but at the end of the day, we don't have any control over what those
No,
outcomes
you
are.
can only control your response to a situation or your approach to a situation. How the situation ends, yeah, like a lot of times there is a typical outcome, but it's not guaranteed, right? So if you get fixated on the fact that something is going to happen in this way and it doesn't, that just torments you,
Yeah.
right?
And it's also looking at, so I would say like our own children, but even their children's children and their children. So we're leaving this legacy,
Mhm.
right, for all of our children. And because in 200 years, we could have like 50,000 descendants, which is crazy to think about. So it's looking at like long-term future as well
Yeah.
as this generation. But anyway, it kind of does go back to the being good people piece as well, right? The contentment. So like it's contentment, gratitude, and being good people and having those connections, right? Is really part of being content,
Mhm.
is having all of those. But the answer really is modeling. It's
I
modeling.
was going to say modeling.
Yeah, yeah. So being that person, right? So they are watching us. And I think I've talked about this before in some of my talks. I have a mosaic picture of a kiddo. And for teachers, for example, I'll say you've got 5,000 days
Mhm.
to interact and shape this child from K to 12. And every little picture in that mosaic, every little interaction that we have with a child influences who they become later on in life. And it's those little instances that have it's not the big, oh my gosh, we got to spend a whole day together having fun.
Mhm.
It's the day-to-day interactions. How did we make them feel? How did we interact? How did we believe in them, support them, all of those types of things. But it's also how we interact with the world, right? How do you interact with their teacher? How do you interact with the person who's coming in the door behind you? Do you
Mhm.
hold the door or do you just keep walking? How do you interact with people who are serving you? Maybe they're ringing through your groceries. Maybe they're bringing you a meal, right? How are you interacting with those? All of those kids are watching and learning from us all the time and how we manage the world and how we interact with people. And that really influences long term the kind of people that they grow up to be and fills, yeah, their cup of gratitude and contentment and connection.
Yeah, and I've always tried to make sure that they understand that as well. Like obviously I'm trying to demonstrate it. I wish there was a way that kids could sleep through how I navigate traffic because I feel sometimes that's not my best
I
self.
was just going to say, I am not a good model in the car. Even today,
You drove like a block.
I know. And Maya, we brought the puppy because we're going to show the puppy took her to work to show some coworkers, and she was like talking, "It's okay, mommy's a bit of a maniac as she drives."
Yeah. I mean, that's good that she's modeling for the puppy. That's good. Maybe the puppy will grow up to be content.
I know in the car, yeah, I would say that's probably our biggest growing edges for both of us.
But I think part of it though is I agree wholeheartedly with the other stuff. Like how you treat other people is a is far more important than how people treat you in a way. Because again, you can't control how someone's going to treat you. You can control your response. Now that doesn't, and I've always said to the girls, that doesn't mean that someone should pick on you or do any of that. You have to be comfortable standing up for yourself. But if someone decides to be rude to you, and you know you've done nothing, well, move on, right? There's no point in carrying that with you for the rest of the day. And some days I'm better at that, some days I'm not. I do try and make sure part of for me that I've tried to model a bit more, which has been difficult, is not having an expectation on the interaction as well. So kind of to the whole outcome piece. Perfect example, and we'll use driving as it is. The act of waving when someone is let into traffic
Mm-hmm.
has died off, right? For a long time, I'm like, I'd be upset about it. Now it's just like whatever. It really doesn't bother me as much. It's disappointing, but it's also not anything I control. So why waste energy on it,
I
right?
still wave.
I do too, but again, I'm deciding to wave as an acknowledgement.
Hmm.
I can't enforce that on someone else, right? And that's kind of it, right? So to be content and not upset, it's like whatever. I let them in because it was the right thing to do and move on. It's similar to holding the door and whatever else, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
What do you think you're doing good at?
Um, I like to think I'm pretty good at providing a different perspective if they are getting hung up on something. Um, and just give them something to think about on how they could deal with it differently. Or I have consistently always tried to make sure that any opportunity to educate them on how they could treat someone is taken, right? And not that they've done anything wrong, but just, finding opportunities to be like, look, if you're in a situation like this, right, act this way for this reason. Whether I've demonstrated in that moment or not, I think that's consistently something I've tried to do. And I see the girls doing it. Like when they're out and about, they're pretty good kids, right? Like
Hmm.
they are respectful. Someone was just commenting the other day on how much they enjoyed having Willow around because she was very easy to talk to, and it's not normally you see someone her age capable of talking to adults. And I said, yeah, she's great for that. But and part of what she called out was that she was very respectful. She was very, very polite. And so that's kind of what I try and model, right? It's just there's no benefit to punching down, right? There's no benefit to picking on someone or being crappy to someone that is in a position that, you know, they're a server. We'll use a server as an example. What benefit do I get? What do I win by treating them poorly? Not much, right?
Hmm.
Now, if they choose to be, negative to me, then I can respond in kind just to kind of manage the situation. But being a jerk to someone really doesn't serve any purpose.
No.
And that's what I think I've tried to model a lot, right? In terms of that. And then just be open to one-on-one people are usually pretty interesting and pretty good to hang out with. That's something I've tried to model all the time because you meet some interesting people that way.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I think we're good. And even just like the little acts of kindness, big acts of thoughtfulness that we do. I mean, going to the fire station was awesome. And being invited into the fire station this Christmas was just awesome. And just seeing that. But even little things like you've always, if there's someone outside the car looking for money,
Mhm.
right? You've always been looking for those opportunities, and we will roll down the window
Yeah.
and give if we do happen to have any money or change or things like that, like giving in that regard, holding doors.
Mhm.
There's another one that I was just thinking of being like on busy days. I mean, the one we've talked about this, giving, someone, the cashier at the grocery store,
Mhm.
chocolate bar. There's another one I was just thinking of, but I can be assertive too, standing up for people, like the at the dog park. I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I know, I've shared
Yeah.
this story. Just the woman who was yelling at this one man who we were at the dog park, and his dog, she's a runner without a dog, was yelling at this man, and he was just so upset and so fragile, and so just stepping in and standing up for him.
Mhm.
You know, I think the girls don't see me as other than in traffic, someone who does stand up and speak and fight for, but I did in that moment. And I think that that moment really has stood out for them. So it's looking for, yeah, just being a good person. We keep coming back to that, don't we? That's really what our kids just need. And we need to model that too.
Yeah, I
But
agree. I
that's
think,
the answer.
and I think,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the modeling behavior and the modeling, you and I process the world based on how we were led through it ourselves. So obviously, there's there's certain things we probably would like to do better and not, but recognizing that and trying to avoid that for our kids is probably the more important piece,
Yeah.
right? Give them the best chance.
And for parents at home, even if you want more out of this episode than just being content and grateful and connected in life, think about, what is it that you want your kids to be doing more of, or qualities that you want to instill in your kids. And the way you do that is you got to start embodying that yourself.
Yeah,
So pick one thing that's important to you that you want to see more of in your children, like thoughtfulness, for example, and then go and do it.
yeah,
Like if you do it yourself, kids will be watching. And even teenagers, like even just the other day, even though our little acknowledgments, right? So like Maya had walked the dog one morning. We got a new puppy and I had in her in earshot. So I knew she was within earshot. I told you, I got to tell you something. Maya, without me asking her, went and walked the dogs. It was so helpful because I was so rushed in the morning. And then guess what? Next day, she did it again.
yeah,
And she's been so helpful. So even just those little comments of acknowledgement doesn't have to be point systems or over the top praise, the acknowledgement and, why I was grateful, how it helped and how it helped the morning.
yeah.
Anyway,
Agreed.
cool. That's it.
Cool beans. Great question. I nailed it.
Good day.